G'day, Kieran Haslett-Moore here, head brewer at North End Brewery. Um, just here today to talk a little bit about our range of harvest saisons that we're releasing. Guess the story starts back in February 2020, before the world changed with COVID. We went on a visit to Malt Europe Maltings at Martin, where all our malt, or most of our malt, comes from. It was really cool to go up there and visit the maltings and visit the farms that were growing the malt, ride round on a combine harvester and be involved in the harvest and see how it all happened. And then the world changed and nothing more really happened last year, um, until sort of harvest this year, when we decided that we'd go and do a few more visits and explore some of the producers that make the ingredients that we use in the beers. Um, so we went up to Stanmore Farm in Tahora, who produce a lot of the blackberries that we use, grow the blackberries that we use in our fruit beers. And we went down to the Mootry Valley and we visited the Eggers Hop Garden down there. And we also spent a day with our gardening team who grow a lot of the vegetables that we use in our restaurants. Um, and I guess, part of the whole thinking process for me was thinking back to that farmhouse kind of tradition, where you're using the produce of your area, produce perhaps of your own farm, preserving it through fermentation, um, and beer sort of taking part in the world of fermented food. Um, so I was really inspired by these visits, and I just thought it'd be cool to brew some saisons that drew on those ingredients that were being produced in these places. Um, so first up, we've got Secret Garden. The only one I'm going to taste today, because it is Monday midday, and I've got work to do later on. This is work too, I guess. Lucky for some. So Secret Garden, it's all about our food folk ethos of growing our own vegetables. Every week, the gardeners plant out 500 seedlings to keep the veggies on the tables of the restaurants. So we spent a day with the gardening team, and picked out some botanicals that we thought would go well in the saison. So it's got kawakawa leaf, it's got pineapple sage flowers, it's got lemon balm, it's got lemons and lemon leaf in it. Really delicious, herbaceous, slightly spicy saison beer. Kind of sums up the essence of the NZ bush. Kawakawa, I think, always does that in a beer. Really happy with how it's come out. Malt Europe ale malt in there, and a little bit of caramel from Australia, and a little bit of crystal malt from Scotland. Motueka Pacific Jade hops. Really nice, lightly herbaceous saison. Then we also went up the road to Tahora to Stanmore Farm. Now Stanmore Farm grow the blackberries that we use in a lot of our fruit beers. And when we were there, we sort of came across this block of pears, which I've sort of named the Lost Orchard. And they used to grow a lot of pears, and then they got out of it, and they chopped all the pear trees down. But they left this one block in because they like the way it looks from the farmhouse garden. Kind of obscures some of the agricultural buildings further down the farm. And each year they just let the pears go to the birds and to the wasps. So we decided that we'd use these pears in a beer. So I was inspired by Dave Logsdon from Logsdon Farmhouse Ales. A few years ago, I had the saison from him, amazing saison that used pear juice instead of sugar to condition the beer, to get the secondary fermentation going and to carbonate the beer in the bottle. So we went down, we harvested the pears by hand ourselves. We milled them, we pressed them, and then we used the juice to prime the beer create a secondary fermentation in the can. It's a really delicious beer. It's got a little bit of tannic structure from the pears. It's also really got a big haze on it, which I think is pectin haze. So it's quite a hazy one, which seems to be popular in this day and age. And the pear fruity character is just melds beautifully with the Saison yeast character. It's not a outright fruit beer. It's just a Saison that's kind of been enhanced by a little bit of fruit character. And then we went down to Upper Moottree, visited the Eggers family hop garden down there. For generations, they've been growing hops. And they grow really, really pungent, delicious Rewalker hops. So went down there and watched them harvesting the Rewalker. And then we came back and I brewed this 6%, very pale, just Pilsner malt Saison, very much inspired by Saison DuPont. So, you know, it's really quite hip to for craft brewers to put all sorts of wheat and other grains into Saisons, but the classic is just Pilsner malt, so we went for just Pilsner malt, and then hopped it entirely with this pungent Rewalker from Eggers, and it was very, very strong. I was gonna dry hop it with twice as much as I ended up dry hopping it with, because it was just so pungent and delicious, but it didn't need the 10 kg, so I just went with 5. And yeah, binds that bind us. It's a beautiful hoppy, sort of on the edge of being a white IPA, hoppy Saison. I think all 3 beers have come out really well. They're all really, really different. It's a cool opportunity to sit down and compare 3 different takes on the Saison style. Yeah, hope you enjoy them. Cheers.